In a village where the clang of a hammer was the only sound of judgment, lived a man named Kaelen. His hands were made for shaping steel, for creation, not for ending lives. But fate, in its cruel irony, had other plans. A royal seal, a forgotten law, a summons. He was to be the new executioner. The journey was a descent into a future he never wanted. Now, standing in the shadow of the gallows, the tools of his new trade feel alien. A hood to hide his humanity, an axe to sever it. This is not the story of a monster, but the making of one. The axe was heavier than any hammer he had ever held. It promised no creation, only an end. His first duty arrived with the dawn. To the crowd, the hood was a symbol of justice or terror. They didn't see the blacksmith beneath it, the man who knew only how to build. They saw the condemned, and they saw the end. He raised the steel, and with the fall, 2 lives were ended. The boys and the man Kaelen used to be. The blacksmith was gone, leaving only the cold shadow of the executioner. The silence that followed the execution was a sentence of its own. He was no longer a person, but a presence to be feared. The blacksmith's hands, once skilled in creation, now felt permanently stained. The hood was no longer a disguise to hide his shame, but a mask to bury his past. Kaelen was the ghost. The executioner was the cold reality. In the solitude of his new life, he found a grim acceptance. The axe was not just a tool of his trade. It was the only thing that was truly his. Years passed. The blacksmith's hands learned a new, terrible muscle memory. Each execution was a hollow echo of the last. The hood became his face, the axe his only companion. He was a function, a gear in the machine of justice. But today, the past stared back at him from the block, a face from a life he'd murdered. She was a healer, not a criminal. For the first time, the axe felt heavy again. He did his duty, but as the silence fell, a crack appeared in the executioner's soul. That crack in the executioner's soul was a fissure in history itself. The role, once a public spectacle of brutal craft, began to retreat into the shadows. The axe gave way to the guillotine, the noose, the chair, each step moving from personal confrontation to impersonal procedure. Today, the executioner wears no hood. He is an anonymous technician in a sterile room. The public shame Kaelen carried is now a state secret. The heavy axe has become a quiet needle, the swing of a blade, the push of a button. Justice, once a grim spectacle, is now a silent, bureaucratic function, leaving only a ghost in the machine. The story of the executioner.